I will segue into talking about the jobs to be done framework. Like we had a conversation and I said, based on everything that we're talking about, oh, I think there's a framework that I think that you would love because you're already doing it. This just packages it up in a way that makes it so that it's just like, okay, it just makes sense. So you've
So
been
here's
diving into the
something
job.
let me say this about that. My friend Susan always says, let me say this about that. So Susan, when you're listening to this, I
There you
stole
go.
your little words there. The only think about this for a minute.
Mhm.
Everybody's out to make money somehow, right? Most of us can't live without bringing in an income from someplace, right? We have jobs. People spend money, whether they're buying a car, buying groceries, buying coaching services,
Mhm.
having a website developed because they have a need. I don't know many of us that go, got 5,000 burning a hole in my pocket. Think I'll just go buy this. Okay. We don't. Now, we might philanthropically say, you know what? I want to give to this charity or this church or something, so I'm going to
Mhm.
take my money and give it. Completely different thing, right? We've made a decision to take some of our good fortune and give it to somebody. But if you're in business and every business has clients or customers, right? Patients, clients, or customers. You better be fixing a problem that they have if you expect them to pay you. If your car is running fine, you don't go, think I'm just going to take it to the auto mechanic and see if he can charge me $1,000 to see if he can find something wrong with the car. You just don't do that. When your car breaks, what do? I need brakes or I need tires or I got a transmission problem. I'm going to go find somebody to fix it.
Mhm.
So we need to know what is the problem we're solving on there. And I hate when people say, and I'll just give an example, we've got the best skincare ever. And if you use our skincare, you're just going to be great. Tell me what problem that solved. Like you can
Yeah.
imply a problem,
Yes.
but they didn't say a problem. If I own the tire shop and I say, you need new tires, we'll have them on and off your car in an hour. And, 90% chance we got them in stock. Well, I was worried, how much are they gonna be? How long is it gonna
Mhm.
take, right? That's the problem we're solving. So when you're thinking of being an entrepreneur or going in and doing a job or starting a business, because a lot of people today, do you know there's more, I don't know, there's hundreds of thousands of people, and I should have looked that number up and shame on me, I didn't, but that started a business in the last 5 years. Now, many of
Yeah.
them were let go. Some of them, if they had an in-person business, they were like, I got to pivot. My in-person business is falling apart. How do I pivot it? Right? If you were a yoga teacher, maybe now you're doing yoga online.
Mhm.
Okay. But you've got to understand what you can do. But most of these people haven't been in business that long. I know somebody who was a bookkeeper who decided to do websites. She's
Mhm.
now a website designer. So let's think about how much confidence we have. Let's think about what the track was. If somebody was a realtor and now they're a life coach, don't you ask, where's your expertise? What gives you the right to sell me your services? Because how much trust do I have? And now today, somebody today was telling me this has been a long day. I'm on the West Coast. It's been a long day. You have to it takes longer to get your clients because
Mhm.
you've got to prove your trustworthiness.
Right.
And it's more than the know, like, and trust, right? We
Yeah.
have to pivot, but we've got to be solving a problem. And if you're not solving a problem, why does somebody need you? It's kind of like if I said, Sean, I want you to introduce me to anybody who has hair, skin, or teeth. You might go, Marianne, I'm going to bet that every person on this planet has either hair, skin, or teeth, right? So
Absolutely. Yeah.
we're figuring out what problem we're solving. And if you want to be successful, you've got to be able to do that. Jobs to be done, right?
That's it. That's it. It's really capturing what problem are you solving? What challenge? What I love in what you broke down is it's not just talking about the problem, it's also talking about the solution and what it looks like once you have it. Because that's kind of creating a picture and as someone that focuses on branding and messaging as part of that, that's part of that journey. You have to be able to kind of give someone the story, and I think the disconnect that a lot of people have is they're so busy focusing on what they need to be able to accomplish that they're not remembering that they need the audience to be able to understand what they're accomplishing. So, where you said, you know what, I'll be able to have your tires on and off, I'll be able to have you in and out in 90 minutes, anything like that, when you're able to give someone an idea of what the experience is going to be, then they can also plan around it. Then they can see themselves in it. And that allows them to be able to go, okay, well, I can check that box. I can do that on Saturday because that means while I'm out, I can also do this, 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 and this. Makes it so that it gives people reasons to be able to take that action, as opposed to just saying, you know, this is, I'm looking for people like this. And there's no bridge between those people and what it is that you're actually going to be able to do for them. And what you're almost doing in that situation is you're putting the accountability and the onus on the person that's making that referral to make that connection for you. And I think that's where a lot of people run into a problem because we get on these networking calls, we have these conversations, and a lot of times what'll happen is I'll ask someone and say, okay, well, you know, who are you looking for? Like, how can I help you on your business journey and make sure that they're getting what they need to get out of it? I'm listening for the customer experience because that's what I want to be able to repeat back to the person and say, well, here's the experience that you can expect to have. Here's the problem that you may be having. Here's the experience that you can expect to have. Here's the results that this person will be able to bring. That gives somebody a sense of urgency to want to be able to reach out to you. But if you're just making a referral and going, oh, yeah, they work on this. Okay, that's nice. That doesn't mean that that's the best person for me. That doesn't mean that they're going to be the person that gives me the best experience. If you're not filling in and bridging that gap, then you're not setting that person up to be able to make sure that they're able to give you the right referrals. When you said like hair, skin, or teeth, it's something where don't just ask someone to be able to give you a referral. Give them enough to be able to arm it. So I'll take it back to the corporate side, and I think you'll appreciate this. My job that I used to tell people is my job is to give you enough information so that you can go and sell it yourself. Like I would have that point of contact and say, my job is to make you look good. So I'm going to give you all the information, not the way that I would say it, but in a way that you can say it so that when you repeat it back to that person, that's going to put you in a better position. And in some cases, I would talk to people and they had made, let's talk about bad decisions. They made some bad decisions and they were on the bubble. And their thing is, I really need this to work out because I need a win. Okay.
And, you
So
know,
then my information is based on that.
people, we all make bad decisions sometimes,
Hmm.
and it's how do we respond to
Yes.
those bad decisions once we understand that wasn't the best choice, right?
Yes.
Some people today start a business, and again, this is where it comes to be, it depends, right?
Hmm.
Do you need quick money? Do you want long-term money? A lot of people, let's look at realtors. Do you know how many realtors are out there? Okay. And the average realtor makes less than $40,000 a year.
Hmm.
And there are many realtors that close 1 or 2 homes a year. Can you raise a family on that? Well, if you're selling $10 million homes, you
Right.
might. If you're not, there's some issues, right? The last thing you want is to end up in more debt or more frustration than you need to. Many people who start a side gig, they quit their side gig in a year to 2 years. Just like many people who start a business, many of those businesses fail in the first 5 years.
Yeah.
So if
Have.
you're that person who's looking for a side hustle, one of the things that I talked about earlier was asking the right questions. So I have a site, it's called knowyoursidehustle. And I have a free resource that people can get with some of the best questions, the 5 most critical questions to ask.
Hmm.
If you're afraid to ask a question, even to yourself about the side gig, or you say, I don't know the answer to that, that's a problem. You
Yeah.
should maybe not be thinking of signing on the dotted line or doing whatever you need to do at that point until you have the right answers
Hmm.
for things. We all want people to end up in better situations than they are. And right now, a lot of people aren't. And people only have so much money and people are worried and stressed. And I don't care what political party you're with, you may not even be in the United States. From what I understand, a lot of the world is stressed and is wondering where their economies are going and
Hmm.
how much better financial shape they're going to be in the next year or 2 or 3, right? And what can they do to take that to the next level? So we're trying to talk to people, I believe, and you said timing's everything, but
Hmm.
right now, the people who hear this, who say, Marianne, I get what you're saying. I want my family to be in a better financial situation. Now is the time to start asking questions, looking around, doing some evaluation on options and where you sit, right? And where you're going to go and play the what if game. What if this happens? What's my plan? Right? We talk about muscle memory. Anybody here ever been to a gym?
Mhm.
Anybody ever ran a race, right? There's muscle memory that the more you do things, the more easier it is. Police and fire are a perfect example of this. They practice and they practice and they
Mhm.
practice and they practice, right? Because when that person runs in front of them, it's not a wait, which hip is my gun on? Okay,
Right.
how hold do I hold it? It's got to be muscle memory. For many of us, there's things in our life that we can do for muscle memory. Some of it may be towards branding and marketing, Sean. Some of it is, do I brush my teeth each day or take a shower? Right?
Right.
So knowing you got to think about who am I and who do I want to be a year from now? What do I want my life to look like?